All right, welcome back to the channel. Adrien, the problem Bronner, calls out Al Haymon and Steven Espinoza of Showtime Sports and says, come on, man, give me my money. I've done what you asked me to do. Let's make it happen. I want to talk about that, man, because quite honestly, I think I agree with Adrien Bronner on this one. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back. Adrien, the problem Bronner, one of the most, I was gonna say charismatic. I don't know if that's quite the word, because charismatic has a little more positive spin than I want to give on Adrien Bronner. But he's one of the more notable, more well-known and controversial boxers in the world right now. He is a former multiple division champion who has fell on, as far as wins go over major competition, has been in about a 3-year drought, you know? But at the same time, he remains very, very, relevant in boxing, no matter what weight class he's in. He just has that type of personality, and he does so many things out of the ring that draw your attention. Will either make you laugh, make you blush, make you scream, but he's gonna do something that's gonna keep him. He is an expert at keeping himself in the forefront of boxing and in the boxing conversation. So not to be no surprise whatsoever, he releases I read the transcripts of it. I didn't see, I think it was a FaceTime, either a FaceTime, some stream that he did himself, right? Whether it is Facebook Live or Instagram Live, I'm not sure. But he tells, no, actually, it's not. It's a tweet or an Instagram tweet, because it's they actually wrote it down. So forgive me. Regardless, this is what he says. He says, in essence, that I am, come on, Al and Steven, I need a fight for $10 million. I need fight for $10 million. I've done and fought everybody that you've asked me to do with no complaints. Let's make it happen. Otherwise, I'm going to have to go to Cali. I'm going to have to go to Cali and find one of my guys that has that for $1,200. Now, what would you be buying for $1,200 in California that if you took it back from California to Ohio would increase in significant value? You know, I'll leave that up to your imagination, but let's just suffice it to say that I would prefer that he get it in the boxing match. But let's look at at what Adrien Bronner says, the comedy aside, because I think that stuff at the bottom is comedy, hopefully. But let's look at what he actually says. He's saying to Al Haymon and Steven Espinoza that he's done everything that they've asked him to do with no complaints. I don't think a truer statement exists, because I don't know of anybody that has fought of Adrien Bronner's status that has done more. There's not a lot of fighters that have done more for Showtime than Adrien Bronner. Maybe, you know, Deontay Wilder with the numbers that Deontay Wilder did, Errol Spence Jr. for the fights that he was over there on, but until he moved over there to Fox. But I mean, in the long haul, man, Adrien Bronner has fought Shawn Porter. Adrien Bronner has fought Mikey Garcia. Adrien Bronner fights Jesse Vargas. He fights Marcos Maidana. I mean, he's fought everybody that this dude has fought. Has been a difficult fight. And he has not taken any. I've only seen him have one cherry pick maybe in the last 4 years. The last cherry pick that I can think of with Adrien Bronner is Ashley Theophane, who was a Mayweather fighter, and Bronner fought him, was like, man, I'm gonna bust your boy up. And he winds up going in there and beats up Ashley Theophane. Ashley Theophane, by the way, everything that I've heard, everything that I've heard about him, every time I've heard him speak, seems to be a really great guy. So I don't really mean I don't want to put any negativity towards him, but he did get busted up. He did get busted up pretty solid by Adrien Broner. And there are plenty of fighters of the Ashley Theophane level that they could be feeding to Adrien Broner if Adrien Broner just wanted to not put himself in a difficult situation, right? Adrien Broner could do what Leo Santa Cruz has done for the vast majority of Leo Santa Cruz's career, which is never take a fight that he does not think that he can win, that he doesn't dang near know he can win. And that has not been the case, truly been the case for Adrien Broner, but in a couple different scenarios. So not only has Adrien Broner done what he's requested, he's also provided a platform for those other fighters so that they could display their skills at a higher level in front of more people. And by that I mean there ain't no question about who the more popular fighter is between Adrien Broner and Shawn Porter. It's Adrien Broner. Okay, it's Adrien Broner by leaps and bounds. Okay, there's no question about who is the more popular fighter at the time that fight happened between Adrien Broner and Mikey Garcia. It was without a doubt Adrien Broner. But what did Mikey Garcia and Shawn Porter get out of those fights? They got the exposure that comes along with fighting a guy that they can beat, who has a bigger name than they do. And that is not a prize that people are running around handing out willy-nilly, okay? There's plenty of scenarios where you can see fighters that are really good fighters and they'll say, hey, well, who has he fought yet? What has he done yet? No, I'm the big man. No, I'm not gonna do that. So they'll turn down a fight, say like, we'll just use Adrien Broner as an example. Turn down a fight against Shawn Porter, but insist that they give him Ashley Theophane. Say, yeah, I'm going to fight Ashley Theophane because, Shawn Porter's name needs to get a little bigger. Let me go ahead and, fight this dude, this dude who has no name and ain't never going to have a name and collect a paycheck versus putting my stuff at risk against a guy that I'm not even sure that I can beat. Because going into a fight between Adrien Broner and Shawn Porter, man, ain't nobody confused about who was going to win that fight. And not only that, Adrien Broner actually puts up good, compelling fights with these guys. Manny Pacquiao, I can understand because that was a big payday, for Adrien Broner to fight Manny Pacquiao. So that was a good lookout for Adrien Broner. But the rest of those guys, dude, Adrien Broner, if you just wanted to stick him in there with guys that didn't have it, like Emmanuel Taylors and guys like that, go and get some guys from, who are fighting at 135 pounds and move them up to, or guys that are fighting at 130 pounds, like find a Miguel Berchelt, right? Like get Miguel Berchelt and have Miguel Berchelt go from 130 to 140 pounds. And then feed him to Adrien Broner, and then Adrien Broner beat another world champion. Dude, he has not done any of that gamesmanship, man. So when he said that part of what he's saying, man, I don't think that there's any question whatsoever that Adrien Broner is telling the truth. So I'm hoping every time I hear that Adrien Broner's retiring, I'm hoping it's not true because of the amount of energy that he brings to the fight, the fact that he's always in fights that are compelling. That's one of the better things about boxing. And it's interesting because Adrien Broner's career went, at least this is my impression of him, right? He went from a guy that I was like, wow, he's really talented. He's a great lightweight. Man, this guy is going to be the best guys in boxing. He was being marketed as the next Floyd Mayweather Jr. Then he went through that stint where, he started acting, he's always acted kind of wild or whatever, acting wild, losing fights. And you think, oh man, this dude is done. He wasted his career and all that. But then time keeps going on and he keeps fighting these guys and keep fighting these guys. And you got to say, dang, this dude ain't playing the game at all. This guy really is out there trying to fight the best fighters. He's earning the money that he's making. He's actually entertaining and giving you a reason to watch the fights. dude, Adrien Bronner is at a point I was like, dang, Adrien Bronner is really good for boxing. I mean, he might not be really good for the guys, you know, that the media guys that he's cussing out or, you know, telling them, you know, or cracking jokes on. They might take that personally. But dude, that dude's not a joke, man. That dude is really, really good for boxing. And I certainly hope that the PBC recognizes the contribution that he has made to that organization, because it's not small, man. This dude is the anti-Keith Thurman. He's the anti-Terrence Crawford. Guys that, well, actually, anti-Terrence Crawford, because Terrence Crawford's got an immense amount of talent, but dude, they're not putting that guy into fights where they don't think and that's more Top Rank, where they don't think he is going to win. If Adrien Bronner was with Top Rank, Adrien Bronner would have been protected. He would have been completely protected. He would have been a 5-time champion because they would have just fed him in-house. They could have just fed him in-house fighters like a Miguel Mariaga. Have Miguel Mariaga move up 3 weight classes and fight him. Dude, the PBC should do something for Adrien Bronner and make sure this dude gets good fights, man, because dude, it's not, I mean, it'll be a loss for boxing the day Adrien Bronner dies, man. Not dies, forgive me. The day that he retires, it'll definitely be a loss for boxing if he passed away. I don't want to put that on him. I meant the day that he retires and he's not fighting anymore. Anyway, you let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Peace.